Bear with me. Yeah,
What's going on? Happy New
Sammy,
Year.
free smoke, McKay. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, boy. There he is.
What's going on?
Mate, it's a pleasure to have you on. I've been wanting to have you on for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, mate, I can't do a show. There's certain people I can't do a show. It's not a show until you've been on. And
Mm,
you are one of them, my friend. So welcome to the Gunman Insta Live. This is a platform that I've set up for great fighters like yourself to be able to share your journey with the fight fans and to give them a bit of an insight into the fight game. But most importantly, I think those that don't know you, you're a popular, iconic figure and ambassador of Miguels Boxing Gym, which is a notorious gym in Brixton, one of the finest gyms in South London. And so we're really pleased to welcome you onto the show today. But not just a brilliant fighter, you're a great mentor to a lot of young fighters. And I want to talk a little bit more about that as we progress. But
okay.
yeah, how did you first find Miguel's? I think we should start.
Um, well, I first started as part of a boxing initiative that the youth club was doing back in the day. I think when I first went there, I was young. It was only like I think, couple weeks. So I went there. I liked it, but I didn't stick to it because when you're young, you got so many distractions around you. And plus,
Yeah,
none of my friends are boxing, so I thought, yeah, this is good, but this is not it.
yeah. Were you a naughty boy?
You me? Yeah. To say the least, to say the least.
Yeah, and would you say boxing's really changed your life?
Um, yeah, yeah, definitely. Boxing definitely changed my life. Helped me to become more disciplined. More importantly, it helped me to become more understanding and more patient with people. I think
Yeah,
that's one of the key
yeah,
things, how to be patient with people, because people are not
yeah,
easy to deal with.
yeah. You can easily when you don't have that discipline, you can find yourself bucking some man up for no reason.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah. I mean, like before boxing, you could easily get irritated over dumb stuff, especially when back in the days when I was like 16, 15, 16, 17. You get in trouble for stupid things,
yeah,
fights and stuff. And now boxing helped me to calm down. It's like if even someone like barges you or just like looks at you in a way, in
yeah,
your head you're thinking that you feel sorry for them because
yeah.
they don't know what they're trying to get themselves into. So it's just
Yeah,
like, oh,
yeah.
it's like rather not.
It, it's easier to walk away from it because you know what the outcome will be.
Yeah, yeah. When you know what you can do, you don't need to like get into
Yeah,
anything.
exactly. So what? How old were you when you went to Miguel's? When you first
The
went? Do you
first
remember?
time or the
Yeah,
serious time? The first time or the serious time?
uh, the first time, then the serious time.
First time, I think I was 15.
Yeah,
That was like uh 2 weeks, 2 weeks trial.
yeah.
Yeah,
And how did you feel when you first worked in the gym? Did you have an air of, oh, this is beautiful, or did you think, oh, not really feeling this?
I thought, yeah, it's boxing. This is a bit fun. Um, but when you're growing up, everyone thinks they're a fighter. Everyone wants to fight. Because I've always been around fighting. I always enjoyed fighting. So when I first went, I thought, yeah, gonna show my fighting
Yeah,
skills. But as I
yeah,
said, it was a lot. It was a youth club. It was youth club based, so it wasn't nothing too
yeah.
serious. Then the second time I went, um, this was after like I put on some weight. Um, I used to smoke and stuff, and then um,
Smoke the green or
yeah,
the green or the cigarette or the ciggies?
not the ciggies. Yeah, I thought, you know what? Let me just stick to this, man, because let me give it 1 year of hard work. And let me tell you, because you've been to Miguel's. When I first started, Granville, rest his soul.
Rest in
Granville
peace.
used to give me the hardest time because in the amateur club, there's like a hierarchy in the
Mm.
sense of all the fit guys and the strong guys and the fighters, they're all at the front. Then the non-fit, you work your way down to the back. So these times I wasn't fit, and I've always been kind of fit from my always been fit because I used to do sports in schools.
Yeah.
I've always been very athletic. But then I started smoking, doing nonsense. I was like, when I first started, I was 14 stones, believe it or not.
Wow. Get out of
Mad.
here.
Yeah, yeah, I was
Get
14, so
out of here.
I couldn't believe I was a cruiserweight.
Wow. I
I
can't
could
believe that.
I couldn't believe it thinking back at it. But yeah, I was 14 stones. Then I was like, oh God, I had to stay at the back in the ring. Like, how was I at the back of the class where I was one of the fittest people?
14 stone. I'd love to get a picture of that, Sammy.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd
No
love to
chance.
see that, mate. I'd love to see that because I mean, like, Jesus, your physique now puts us most of us to shame. Um,
Mm,
and
yeah.
we'll come on to some of your training as well in a moment, actually. But yeah, so you came into the Miguels. The first time you didn't take it too seriously, but did you feel intimidated going into a boxing gym for the first time? A lot of people do have that sense of, oh
No,
shit, you know, look at these guys. Or
no,
how did you feel?
no. I'm from Brixton, you know. Intimidate.
Yeah,
I don't feel intimidated going to a boxing gym. No way. But
yeah. But
it
some
was.
people do though. Some people
Yeah,
do,
some
you
people
know.
do. Yeah, of course, some people do. But I didn't feel intimidated because
Yeah. Did
just
you
boxing.
fight a lot on the streets as a kid?
In school, 100%, because I went to a school that was either you're hard or you become
Yeah,
hard. There's no two ways about it.
yeah,
So, yeah, the school really made you separated the men from the boys, as they say.
yeah. What does Miguel's boxing gym mean to you?
What does it mean to me? Well, Miguel's boxing gym is very community. It means community to me because remember the first times I used to go back to the gym, I felt like, everyone there respected each other. You talk to anyone, no matter what walk of life they're from, and everyone's there to better themselves. So everyone's there showing
Mm,
respect. So for me, it's all about community.
mm. At what stage did you realise that I'm a fighter, or were you always born to fight, or did you learn to fight?
Um, it's just, so I'm gonna answer in two parts. So fighting, I could always fight. To be honest with you, like I remember watching, as you probably know, Power Rangers, Street Fighter,
Yeah,
playing all sorts of games. And I've got a lot of cousins, so we was always fighting, see who's the strongest, who's the fastest. So fighting, yeah, we was always fighting. That's normal. And as I said to you, in my secondary school, fighting is part of the curriculum. Like that's
and you got
that's
an A
part.
plus, my friend.
That's trust me. In my secondary school, especially my year group, there was only about five of us, four, five of us that
Yeah,
could really fight. So we'd always have to fight the other year groups for our year group.
yeah,
But boxing is something you have to learn.
yeah,
Like as you know, when you get in the ring, you can't. Everyone before they start boxing, they always say this dumb thing that I can fight anyone. If I get in there, I'll see red or I lose my temper.
yeah,
Then that's it. You don't know how
yeah,
strong I'm like.
yeah,
It's not gonna be like that. If you lose your temper, that's it. You've lost. Forget it.
yeah.
So
You can't be angry in there. You
yeah,
can't be angry in there.
exactly,
Composure is one of the key things.
exactly.
Now, listen. I mean, I mean, you know this, but I always have to speak because obviously we put this interview up on YouTube and it goes, TikTok and Facebook and across the internet. So for people that don't know us, obviously my cousin was Granville, who was a coach for 30 years at Miguel's. And when I first came into the gym, for years he tried to get me to go to the gym, and I was just a drinker and
Yeah.
didn't really have any appetite for it. But I've got no shame in saying this. When I first came into the gym, I was really unfit. I was in a terrible shape physically and mentally. And you were one of the first guys I saw spar. And again, I've got no shame in saying this, but I wasn't intimidated intimidated going into the gym, but I actually looked up to you, and I looked up to some of the guys that were in
Yeah,
that gym. I really did, because I went in and I looked up. Look how he's fighting. Look how
yeah,
he.
yeah,
Look how he's moving. Look how he jabs. I was always a student of the game. I've been watching
yeah. Of
boxing all my
course.
life. I've been watching Tyson. I've been to loads of the big fights. I've been to Hay Klitschko. I've been to Gail Groves. I've been to Triple G Brook. I've been to Peter Bev Yard. I've been to so many Frotch Kessler. I go to all the fights. I've watched all the fights. I'm a student of the game. I sit down and watch Jack Dempsey, and in lockdown watching Jack Dempsey and all the old school fighters. You know, I'm bang into it. And I remember coming into the gym, and you were one of the first guys I saw spar, and I was just mesmerised. And I remember seeing people like you, Freezy, Isaac Chamberlain, Ryan. I don't know
Yeah,
if you remember him. Hagler was
Ryan
another one.
Hagler. Yeah, yeah. Of course,
Yeah,
Southpaw.
Hagler.
Of course.
I'm going to miss people out, and I'm going to not do justice. Kieran Gilpin,
Yus
Iffy Porter, all
Yusuf.
these guys. It was like a golden era of brilliant fighters that you had at Miguels. I'm
Yeah,
probably going to miss you out, like I said. But I was mesmerised. I was just looked up to all of you guys. I thought I'd never had one fight. I had no aspirations to fight. And yeah, so I really look up to you guys. I really respect you guys. And I was really stunned to hear that your amateur record wasn't so good. Why was that?
I think when I started, I was training amateur, but then my coach John Sims. I originally started with John Sims. As I
Yeah,
said, I was never meant to go amateur. I used to always come and train in the afternoons with Rakeem Noble. Rakeem Noble used to be
yeah,
a lightweight, super lightweight fighter, won
yeah,
Southern Era title.
yeah.
Um, great, good fighter. So I used to
Good
train with
fighter, yeah.
Rakeem Noble, and sometimes Isaac Dogbo.
Isaac
So
Dogba. Yeah, yeah. I
yeah,
remember seeing him spar, and I was just like,
yeah,
again, just like such a small guy, just so sick,
yeah,
so slick. Yeah,
yeah. So because I used to spar with Rakeem's a pro. So I used to be doing like 6 rounds, 8 rounds, 10 rounds, 12 rounds, like all the time. So my body started getting conditioned for the long distance rounds. So
mm,
whenever I used to do amateurs now, it's like I felt like I have to rush and like try to get as much done in the short space of time as possible. Then sometimes, as you know, when you're doing 10 rounds, you don't really start straight away. Like I'll normally start by the second
mm,
round. By the time you start the second round, the amateurs, the fight halfway
yeah,
done. So I always
yeah,
found
yeah.
amateurs a bit
Yeah.
hard in the sense of
What was your record? It was really like modest for part of your ability. I remember speaking with Granville. I said, "Bloody hell, what's this guy's record?" And he told me a record at the time. I was like, "How? How has he lost that many fights?" I was
yeah. I
stunned.
think
What was your record in the amateurs?
um, I must have. I think I had 30. I either had 30 fights or just over 30
Yeah,
fights.
yeah.
Then I think I've lost um, probably about 8. I think
That's
eight,
not
10.
too. It's not too bad. Yeah, 8 or 10. Yeah, I remember it. I remember for your ability. I remember just watching you lighting people up in sparring.
Yeah,
He was
yeah. I mean,
absolutely
like,
lighting
yeah,
people up, and I was surprised that your amateur record's modest,
yeah.
but you've really,
Amateurs politics as well. So
yeah, of course, yeah, you get the robberies as well. What do you think
yeah,
about like opening up the scoring with amateur boxing to prevent all that? What would you just like to just know the score after each round? Why don't they just show the score to stop the robberies? Would you be in favour of that?
never really thought about
Just
that.
think about it like
But
this. If you're
but
watching football,
it depends though, because it's not like football. Football, a goal's a goal, isn't it?
yeah, but
So it's different.
at least you walk into the room and you can look up and go, oh look, they're winning two
Yeah,
one. Or
yeah,
you can go into the room and rugby's on. You can see the score. Oh, that team's winning.
yeah. It
Or
works.
you can go into tennis and see, oh, this guy's a set up. But in boxing, not even the participants know who's winning. We don't
It
even know.
works. It
Would
works.
you want to know who's winning?
It works in some cases, but you got to remember, judges are what they like. Some judges want to see someone box. Some judges want to see someone fight. And then if you used to see the scorecard, it's like, oh, why
Mm,
is this judge saying this and
mm,
that, but other judges saying this? So then you might be influenced by outside party instead of just waiting to the end to see what the judges scored the whole fight instead of doing it round by round. Because I said it's all at the discretion of what you like.
But get rid of the robberies, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
If you have
I
to
mean,
put up the
there will always be robberies. There's always going to be robberies regardless.
no, if you put the score up at the end of each round, there wouldn't be. If you're beating the shit out of me and me and you are fighting, you're beating the shit out of me, and the score goes up that I've won the round, it'd be outrage. So they wouldn't be able to manipulate the scores.
Unless the judge got paid beforehand. So even then there's that.
Yeah, they'll always find a way.
Exactly, there'll always be a way. Robbery's been going on since sports been invented from the Roman days. So
yeah,
it's not going to change. It's not going to stop.
part of the game, isn't it?
Yeah, it's part of the game.
It's part of the game. Well, let's get onto your training, because let's get cracking into your career, because this is what people want to know about. And I can talk to you about boxing, blooming. We could be here till next week and we could still be talking because we both love this game. But let's talk about your training. So, look, let me just ask what the people want to know. How do I get a chest?
Fire.
How do I get a chest like that?
It's genetics.
Mate, I've heard about
Genetics and hard training.
just taking a piss, isn't it?
I think it's genetics and just training. You know, I would, as I said, you've been to Miguels.
Yeah.
Miguels
is. That looks like you've been doing Granville circuits.
Yeah, definitely.
Mate, those circuits were, man.
I'm telling you,
different favorite.
them circuits. I remember, 'cause as I said to you, I'll tell you a story. When we used to do the amateurs, so this is when I got fit now. Then that one day, Granville, I remember he went. I think he went to Jamaica for a bit, on a holiday or something. Then he came back. Then I don't know, he went for a long time, but now I was really fit. And then one day he came in and he saw me at the front of the class. I remember it was me and Isaac and probably Yusuf.
Oh, Yusuf, yeah.
Yeah. Then Gum was like, "What are you doing at the front?" Then he was like, "Okay." So remember, Gum used to always call out the workouts.
Yeah.
And he used to call out some crazy stuff like.
And remember that guy Tickle?
Yeah.
I like Tickle would just. He was like a machine.
Yeah.
He was like a Terminator, wasn't he? He was like Terminator 2, exactly. Wasn't he? Like a T-1000.
Tickle was fit. He didn't look fit.
No.
He didn't look fit, but he was fit.
Mate, different gravy. Like this guy would just be like there, like up and down in the burpees, and you just be like, how's he doing that? How's he doing that?
Consistency, man. Tickle's been.
He was ridiculously fit. Tickle. Is he? I haven't seen him down there for years.
Nah, I saw him about last month, I think.
Yeah.
He still goes to some of the amateur shows, but he doesn't really train as much. I know he still goes to some of the fights, the competitions.
He was a machine, wasn't he? He was a machine.
Yeah.
Who's your hardest sparring partner?
Now.
Anyone?
I don't think. I wouldn't say hardest, because I've never.
Hardest is the question.
Yeah, I wouldn't say hardest because I don't have hardest sparring. But
it gives you the roughest time.
It's more of who do I like sparring the most instead of competitiveness. Who's the most competitive sparring?
Yeah, who gives you the hardest spar?
I think depends. Probably Super Yusuf Komori.
Really?
Yeah, I like sparring Yusuf. Yeah.
Is it Chamberlain?
You mean?
Yeah.
Like not serious though. Look how big Isaac is. Isaac's 90 kilos. That's about Isaac's like what's that? Almost 30 kilos bigger than me.
Yeah, he's cruising, isn't he? Big. Yeah. It's about food. Yeah. Yusuf's your toughest work though. Yeah.
Competitive. The most competitive. I don't say it's toughest. Most competitive work. Like I enjoy sparring him. Everyone's like when you go spar him, you know, like you gotta be sharp on your A game. You ain't gonna be like taking time off, moving around, having breathers. You gotta be fit and ready.
Yeah. Have you ever been dropped?
Yeah, you know who dropped me? Yusuf. One time Yusuf dropped me just when I first started boxing. He dropped me and I got back up. I was like, The fuck is? I was like, you know, when you first like, when you've never been dropped before, I got back up. I
Yeah.
was like, okay. I was
I
like, okay.
yeah,
But it wasn't.
when you first get
Yeah,
dropped, I think it's a surprise that you're like, Jesus, it can happen,
yeah, of
isn't
course.
it? It's like you don't realize it can happen
Yeah, I
before
mean,
that.
like, yeah. No, before I knew it could happen because I said I had a lot of fights in school, so especially with older kids, older guys.
Yeah,
So I've been hit before. I've never been knocked out,
yeah,
but I've been hit and I've dropped and I got back up and continued
yeah,
fighting.
yeah. Your style. For those who haven't seen you fight, how would you describe yourself as a fighter?
Um, First and foremost, I'm a counter puncher. So I would say pressure, counter puncher, but can also
Mm.
box. So it varies. So I always try to be able to adapt. So sometimes I box. I like boxing more, boxing, moving around. But then also sometimes I like fighting. You know, getting in there.
So,
So
so what would you call this then? What would you call this? Because let's check this out. What would you call this?
I
Right, man, you're chasing this guy round like Tom chases Jerry. Shit up.
call it the smoke.
I mean, switch it up. You're literally all over this guy like a tattoo.
As I said to you, first of all, that's just straight smoke. You already know it's free smoke. And with that fight, you know what happened? As I said to you, I'm a counter puncher. If you,
There's
I
no
missed the
counter
first
punching
one.
going on there. There's no
It
counter
is.
punching
Look,
going on
if you
there.
play it again, I missed the first hook. Then he didn't react. I missed the
Oh,
first shot, but he didn't react. So I was like, I'm gonna throw it again. So I threw it again. I caught it. I was like, oh yeah, you messed
mate.
up.
Jesus, I mean that was ferocious, man. I mean you could have leave him alone a little bit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, like honestly, he was literally chasing him around like Tom chases Jerry.
Yeah.
Literally put him, parked him up into the corner. It was like he'd said something bad to your mother or something. The way you was laying into him.
Come on, man.
And that was
You
lovely.
know.
To finish that was that your pro debut that fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So pro debut.
Yeah.
So it's good
How,
to
how,
get
how is the pro debut? Everyone says that's one of your hardest fights to negotiate. Would you say so?
the debut.
Yeah.
No, because as your debut for me anyway, it's probably easiest one in the sense of like everyone's gonna come to your first fight. Your all your friends are gonna be there, your family's gonna be there, and the most important thing is for you or for a fighter is you're gonna be able to perform well because there are some times when you have a pro fight, and it's like you don't perform because of nerves or something didn't go right or whatever
Yeah.
didn't go right, and you just don't perform, so you look terrible.
Yeah.
So, but my first pro fight, it was a bit tricky because um, they changed my opponent. They kept changing my opponent. Then they got the opponent. Then they kept changing the weight. So,
Oh, really?
yeah. So I was meant to fight at 63 kilos. But the guy couldn't make 63 kilos. Then they put it up 2 kilos, 65. Couldn't make 65. They put it up to 67. I was like, cool, 67. Then I weighed in on the day at 67, 66. And the guy was like 70 kilos. So I had to like drink a lot of water and stuff to try get my weight up to like 68, 69 because the boxing board wouldn't allow us to fight if I was too small.
Were you
So,
nervous?
nah.
I'm from Brixton.
Yeah, am I nervous for? It's just two guys fight. I mean, like, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Like, some fighters, like, it's okay to get nervous.
Yeah.
Especially in big moments. But for your first pro fight, you don't want to be nervous. You want to be out there, enjoying yourself because you're gonna perform the best of your ability and show everyone what you've been working on and what you've been doing. So, I mean, like, you're gonna get nerves before, before going in the ring. Like, I wouldn't say I wasn't nervous. Probably had a little bit of nerves. And as soon as as soon as my raps got put on, I was like, fuck this shit. It's go time, man. Fuck
Well, that's the thing. I mean, Mate, I've had experienced fighters on here. I had Wayne Alexander, one of my first few interviews I did on here. Wayne
Yeah,
Alexander, notorious fighter from
yeah,
England.
yeah. Original, yeah, it's knockout artist.
Yeah, knockout artist, and he's like, look, when you said and done, your career's said and done, you look back on your pro debut as it's quite such an iconic moment for you. It's your first time. You look forward to your pro debut for so long, and there's usually quite a lot of nerves around it. And I think quite a lot of fighters I speak with that go, "Oh, the pro debut, oh, I was nervous for that fight." But interesting to hear that it was a walk in the park for you. But that's the sort of mentality you have anyway, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah. So what about your mentality? I mean, um, when you've been training for quite a while and you've had hard spars,
Yeah,
like you sparred elite fighters, and you say to yourself, "There's no way this guy that you're gonna fight is gonna be the same level as all these elite fighters you had.
yeah.
There's no way."
Yeah. And there's an element as well that, for your first pro fight, you're a prospect upcoming, that they're giving you a durable guy who's usually got a losing
Yeah,
record, isn't
yeah,
it?
yeah,
Let's be honest.
definitely, yeah, yeah. But saying that, even though they're giving you a durable guy, and before I started boxing, I used to think, oh, yeah, obviously they're journeymen, so they're helping you through your
Yeah.
career. So I used to think, yeah, they're gonna come get their money and bounce. But I've been seeing some of these journeymen, they're not trying to follow this, they're not following the script.
Yeah.
Like I've seen a few guys get beaten by a journeyman.
Yeah.
I've seen people being stopped in their debuts. So
Really?
yeah, so just because they're a journeyman, you can't be taking them too
No, you
lightly.
can't take any fight. Look, it's a fight
Exactly.
game, man. You can't
You
muck
can't
around.
take anyone like
Can't
exactly can't
take
take anyone
someone
lightly.
lightly. No, no, absolutely not. So you're what? Are you 4-0? Are you on your pro career?
Nah, 3-1. I had a
Oh,
draw
sorry,
in my last fight.
3-1. Yeah, sorry. I was going to come
Or
on to the draw.
3-1.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
Is it 3-1 or 4-1? 3-1.
3-1.
3-1.
Yeah.
Sorry, my bad. Because I was actually did want to talk to you about this. Now, you've been plain sailing all the way through your pro career, and then you came up against this dude here, and this
Yeah.
is the guy that you drew with. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
And I've watched this fight. What's this guy's name?
Ah,
I
fuck.
can't remember his name, but I've seen
I
him.
can't remember. It was,
He's a superb fighter. He's really hard to
um,
track this guy down, by the way.
I forgot his name.
He's a really
Yeah.
good fighter, though. He's a really good technician, I think.
Nah, he was a decent guy. He was a decent fighter.
Yeah, you might disagree with me, but yeah, I think he's a
Nah, he's
very, I think he's a
good. He's good. I mean, he's quite tricky, to be honest with you.
yeah.
He's a very tricky fighter. Knows how to move.
Some people felt you lost that fight. What would your response be to
Nah, I
that?
don't think I lost the fight. Definitely don't think I lost that fight. So that is cap.
Did you think you won it, or do you think it
Um,
was
I,
about
I
right?
think I could have nicked it, to be honest with you.
Mm.
I don't think it should have been a draw, but eh.
So you think you should have won it?
Yeah, I think I definitely should have won it.
Mm. Yeah, I think he gave you a good fight. If
Yeah,
I'm honest, I think
he did.
because you
Yeah, as I said to you,
get him down. You couldn't
he
get
was
him down.
he was trickier than I thought he was going to
He
be.
was.
And I think yeah, I came with the wrong tactics that fight. Yeah,
Why would you say that? What would you change?
because from my head I thought, you know what, let me just go out and box this fight and try to show some boxing skills.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but I felt like
What?
that's me boxing and waiting too much made it too comfortable in there, in the sense of yeah, so in all my other fights I didn't really try to box and make the other person too comfortable. I was straight away pressure.
Mm.
So I think it's just a learning curve.
Do you think there'll be a rematch?
Um it depends, yeah. It depends because ideally we fought at a higher weight again.
Mm.
So we meant to fight at 64 kilos.
Mate, he's an elusive guy. I was trying to find him on BoxRec before this interview. I always do my research, and I can't find him. But and it also goes on under different names on shows and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This guy, mate. I'm usually pretty sharp with my research and stuff. I'm interviewing people all the time, and yeah, I can't find much on this guy. You know what I mean? That's why I wanted to ask you his name.
No, if you go to my Boxberg, if you click his one of the last fight I had, you should click his name.
Yeah, he wasn't on there. I couldn't find it. I don't know why. Yeah.
Um,
But anyhow, yeah, listen, he was a fleet-footed fighter. He's got superb footwork, really good technician. And
yeah.
I think it was a really even fight.
No, it was
And
definitely tricky for trickiest guy I fought so far.
mate,
Anyway.
he's good, and you're good. And it was two technicians. And when you put two technicians in there, it
Yeah,
was just an absolute chess match, wasn't it? That's what it looked like to me. It looked like an absolute chess match.
yeah.
So when's your next fight? When can we next expect to see you out the fans?
I was meant to fight in February, but I got like a rotator cuff injury now, which I'm trying to nurse back to health. But it's taking longer than I thought it would take, to be honest with you. I thought give it 4 weeks, a month, yeah, it should be better, but still feeling little niggles here and there.
Mm,
Still waking up with a little pain. So
mm.
I'm aiming for, I would like to fight March, April, the
Yeah.
latest. So I'm hoping
Still on
this.
the same promotion, are you? Still on Dean White's promotion?
Yeah. So on the fight and Dean White's promotion, yeah, man.
The
Black box is
only.
where it's at.
Yeah. It looks like good shows.
Yeah,
You need to sort me out some tickets next time. I need to come
yeah,
along.
of course, man. Definitely come to the Black Box. The Black Box. I mean, Dean White
I
puts on great shows.
know. Do you know
But
what? Actually, because I've been to Miguels and I've seen you there, and I said to you, "Should I get some tickets?" And I think I was away a couple of years.
yeah,
There's about three in a
yeah,
row. There was about three in a row. I just wasn't here.
yeah,
You said to me, "Oh, do you want to come?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll come." But then, I think three of your fights, I wasn't here. And your last one was at Peacock's, wasn't it? Was it
yeah,
Peacock?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It was like, yeah, it was at the gym. Yeah, that was the first time I fought in there. It was like
Yeah, they've got
fighting
some.
in Miguels. It's a normal gym.
Yeah. So, it's a
Yeah,
notorious gym. That they've got some great
yeah,
fighters come out of there. Some great fighters come out of there. I've had Aaron Prosper on here.
yeah.
Really
I
good
was, I was a
fighter.
good fight as well. I
Yeah,
like
he
Aaron.
fights on. He's fought on the same card as you as well, I think. If I'm right.
Yeah, he fought that show, the Peacocks one. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
and another one I think he's done with you, isn't he? Maybe
nah,
not.
just that one, just that one. He
Maybe.
was meant to fight. He was meant to fight another one, but I don't think.
Uh,
I think his opponent pulled out or something.
yeah. Okay, maybe my memory serves me wrong, but yeah, I knew you fought on the same show. Yeah, great guy, good fighter. What's your who's your favourite current fighter at the moment? Who's active?
Oh, it's easy. I mean, has to be Terence Crawford.
Oh mate, he's
Terence
a boy.
Crawford, man, he's the
Yeah,
man. He's been my favorite fighter for years now.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, for years since
Fantastic
the
fighter.
since the
Yeah,
Gamboa fight, or even the Ricky Burns fight.
yeah, yeah. He's the
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
Yeah, he is the man.
yeah.
Yeah. What about favourite fighter of all time?
Easy. I have to say Sugar Ray, not Leonard,
Oh,
Robinson.
Sugar Ray
Yeah,
Robinson. Yeah.
yeah. Sugar Robinson was a bad man.
Bad
Like,
man, mate. Yeah, and what? I mean, mate, the amount of fights he's had.
yeah,
So,
crazy,
oh, where would you have the time? He can't have been married.
crazy.
He can't have been
Yeah,
married for that many fights.
yeah. I mean, like most of these fights didn't go past the second round or first round, so
Yeah,
like that,
mate.
you could be fighting every week.
Yeah, unbelievable. That's fighting every week. That's how they went on in those days. Even in the Tyson era, he was fighting every month, sometimes a couple of times a month. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of
Like,
course. If you're knocking someone out and you barely did a work and barely did a
yeah,
fight, then of course you could fight again for the
man
next,
didn't
the next.
even need a shower, did he? He'd just be like, "Oh, get the next guy in." You know what I mean? He hardly broke sweat. Yeah, that was the old school. So Miguel's have got a new. So when I first started going Miguel's, as you know, it was just the one floor, wasn't it? It was a one floor, 10 of us on one bag.
Yeah.
We had those orange mats, and you'd lie on the mat and you'd catch COVID
Huh.
and yellow fever, and like probably about 10, you probably needed a few jabs just to sit on the mat, so because it was the mats were filthy and it was on like 10 man on a bag, and you'd be hitting people with your skip rope, and it was absolutely rammed. And now the gym's really pushed on since those days. I mean, I loved it, by the way. It was a sweat box, but I absolutely loved it. But now the gym's gone into a couple of tiers, and we now have Miguel's MMA. When can we expect to see you in the octagon?
Never. Are you crazy? You know what? I always say like boxing is one thing, but MMA, it's
Nah.
just too much. It's too much elbows, knees. To be honest with you, let me not lie. I I would do not MMA, but I would do kickboxing.
Would you?
Yeah, I'll do kickboxing. I've been to a few kickboxing fights. You
You
know we
don't
do
fancy
them.
the MMA then?
Nah, man, because
I won't catch you having a roll.
nah,
The only
no,
rolling that
definitely
you
not.
used to do.
Nah,
Mate, would you do bare knuckle? Bare knuckle boxing. Money was right.
the money
Someone
was
comes
right.
in and says, someone
The money
says,
was right.
Sammy, bare knuckle.
The money's right. Yeah, punch him
Money's
right.
right.
Yeah, the money's got
Yeah?
to be right though. The money's got to be right.
Why would you, so you would do bare knuckle, yeah?
Yeah, it's just
Yeah. It's funny enough that actually that a lot of boxers say no, they wouldn't do it. But, you know,
it's the
think
money.
about it. You
Yeah,
shadow with no gloves.
yeah, but I think mainly it's that when you're doing bare knuckles, obviously you could cause more damage because it's essentially bone to bone. Um, so straight off, you're thinking you got less protection for your hand, so and it might be more risky, injury wise. But
Mm.
they say that bare knuckles they get less injury because they're aiming for more of the stomach because you get hit someone in the head a few times, your hand's gonna start hurting.
Mate, there's people being put down over by jabs on the regular in bare
Yeah,
knuckle, in BKB and BKFC. Like the jab is putting people down and knocking them out. Do you know what I mean?
was
So
it?
yeah, it's brutal. But a lot of boxers wouldn't bother with it. Like, most guys, 95% of guys I speak with, say nah. Look, I
Trust
look too
me.
good, too much pain.
Offer them a figure and offer them something stupid offer them some Saudi money, and I promise you they'll say yes.
Yeah,
Especially if it's free
yeah,
round. If it's free round Saudi money, they'll be like, yeah,
yeah.
okay, fine.
At the end of the day, all it is just like a street fight,
Exactly.
really, isn't it? But
Yeah.
people were getting a street fight, but they wouldn't jump in a bare knuckle fight in the ring. But it's a good one. But you got to think about how quick your hands are when you haven't got gloves on. Like you think when you're shadow boxing, how quick your hands are when you haven't got gloves on. Imagine fighting like that. It'd be awesome, actually, wouldn't it? And when you hit someone, you'd probably be knock people out,
Yeah.
wouldn't you?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, let's talk champs within because I'm conscious of your time and I have to get champs within in because as I said at the very start of this, you're a really respected fighter, but not just that. You're not just a popular icon in South London and Brixton and Miguels, but you're a mentor. And I had Slick Rick and Ibby Armstrong on here recently, and you could see the way they looked up to you. And mentor was a word that came out a couple of times. And as I said, I said it early on. I look up to you. When I first come in the gym, you were one of the first guys I've seen fighting. So can you talk to us about the Champs Within initiative? And there's a lot of young kids that look up to you, and you're a real big figure for them. And can you just talk to the people that don't know a little bit about Champs Within, what it is, what you plan to do with it, anything you want to.
Um, to put it in simpler form, Sam's within is it's a feeling and an idea, that everyone has got a champion inside of them.
Mm,
Everyone has had a day where they had to overcome some sort of obstacle or some
mm,
sort of drama in their life, and which they never thought they could overcome.
mm.
One of my favorite quote is, "You survive 100% of your bad days, and you're undefeated." So
Yeah, brilliant.
it's
Yeah, I
all
love that.
about reminding people that they got a champion within them. So what we do is we try to help the youth by being a mentor to them, by showing patience and understanding, because we've all been young and we've had people to try help us, but when you're at that age, you're kind of like a rebel. You don't want to talk to anyone,
Mm,
and people kind of give up on you quite easy.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah,
So we're trying to change that. We're trying to help. Obviously, we know we can't help everyone as much as we would like to say we could,
yeah.
but but
You got to help yourself,
those,
haven't you? You got to help yourself.
yeah. But those who are willing, we're willing to help them.
Yeah. So you're helping them through boxing, so keeping them off the street and
Yeah.
using
So
training to give them discipline and confidence, etc. Is that right?
so we use boxing as the gateway by using the disciplines of boxing, as you know, from the consistency, the respect, the timekeeping, the determination, and all the transferable skills that you can learn from boxing. And also we give them opportunities if they wanna, if they wanna fight. Some of them might want to box, but they started boxing now. Some of them, when they start boxing, they start watching. They're like, oh, I want to do boxing. I want to have a fight. Then we kind of like get them ready for a fight. We don't have a skill bout, so there's no pressure on them.
Yeah.
Um, if they want to do music or if they want to do, I don't know, art or anything, we kind of put them in touch with the right people. So
Yeah.
we kind of giving them a chance to, have a Miller's a joker.
Sorry, it's distracted me. Devon Miller.
Yeah,
I need to get that guy on. I need to get this
yeah,
guy
get
on
him
for an interview.
on, get him on,
I have
get
to
him
get
on.
him on.
That's the
Devon Miller, I'm coming for you.
his
I'm
name is
coming for you. I need to get this guy on.
his name is Blood Spiller Miller.
Yeah, he's a good fighter, man. I've watched a couple of his fights. But yeah, Champs Within. I was going to say I've been to a few of the shows, and I've got to say the best thing about the show. I mean, it's an amazing show at Miguels. I think I've done two of them. I think 2 or 3
Yeah,
of them I've been to, maybe 2.
yeah,
But the best part of the show is the curry goat and rice and peas.
yeah. You got to big up my auntie for that. My auntie's a
Oh, man.
chef.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so, I was going to say the boxing, but I thought, No,
Nah.
but yeah, no, it's an amazing show, and I love what you guys are doing. I
Let me.
only missed. I think I only missed the last one. I was commentating
Yeah,
on
yeah.
another show on the same.
I see that you're doing the DCAM because the show started. It's all, and again, it's about giving people the opportunity to go to the next step or give an opportunity to see what it's like to be a boxer. Because
Yeah,
many people go to gyms and they keep fit and they've been doing it for years, and they always kind of wanted to know what it's like, but hasn't been never had the chance to or been too scared to do it on a big stage.
yeah,
So Miguel get an opportunity to do it like somewhere where they're familiar with, without the added pressure of selling tickets and
yeah,
stuff,
yeah,
um, and just go through the motion of what it's like being a boxer. Then they can say, you know what, at least I've done it. Win, lose, or draw, at least I ticked it off.
yeah,
The experience was good. There's music there, your friends and
yeah.
family.
And it's
Yeah,
a packed house. Listen, as I said, I've loved it. Those shows. I've only missed it because I've had another commitment, and I plan to go to every one I can, and I will go to everyone that I can. But yeah, listen, give us a final message. What can the fans expect from Free Smoke in 2024?
well, I'm hoping big things are going to be active. As I said, as soon as my injury gets healed up, I'm going to be out there. I don't have as much fight as possible this year.
Do you want to call
Um,
anyone out?
so I'm calling one out. No, I don't really do calling outs. Listen, when we meet, we meet.
Do you,
So,
how many fights are you going to have this year then? If it all goes to plan?
what are we now? I'm trying to be like Miller, man. I'm trying to be like Miller. I want to have fights like every 2, 3 weeks. This guy's fighting like every month. I need to get on whatever contract
Yeah.
he's on.
Well, the Blood Spiller Miller. I love that. That's brilliant. I'm gonna try and get him on the show for sure. Hoping Freezing Bones will come on next week. Actually, fingers
Yeah,
crossed. Uh,
yeah.
got some good fighters coming on. Ezra Taylor's coming on next week. He's a
Nice,
Frank Box
nice.
fighter. I think he's on Wednesday. Got Misfits girl Carlo Jade's coming on next week.
Yeah,
So we're growing the
good.
platform.
Yeah,
We're
you're
giving
doing
people.
things, man. You're
Yeah,
doing
well, the
things.
platform's here to give fighters a voice. So that's the whole point of this platform, is so that, to give you guys a voice, where we can actually sit, talk to the fans, and the fans want to hear from people like yourself,
Yeah,
Loads of people want to hear about, what the man outside of the ring,
yeah, yeah,
even not just me. I'm really interested to hear more about you, but people want to hear more about you. People just see you turn up and smash people in, but they don't see the sparring, the hard work, the circuits, the groundwork, the times where you've been unfit in the gym, like you said at the start of the interview, the fact you were 14 stone and you've got yourself in incredible shape. No, I didn't know that. And that's what
yeah. A lot of people,
platform's really
no one
good.
knows that. Everyone just thinks I've always been fit. That's what
12
you see.
fights a year, 12 fights a year minimum.
That's the Miller. I told you. That's the blood spiller. That's the
Throwback. Do you know what I mean?
wolf. You don't want the wolf
Yeah.
to be onto you.
That's absolutely brilliant. So listen, have a good evening. Thank you so much for coming on, Sammy. Keep on dishing out that free smoke.
Come on.
Keep it free. Make sure it stays free.
No
Okay.
charge, no subscription. It's free. No payment.
Yeah, exactly. Keep that smoke coming, mate. And listen, as I said, I'm gonna try and get to your next fight, so I'll be watching out closely to see when that is, and I'll be hollering at you for sure.
All right, man. Big up
Yeah,
yourself as
yeah.
well.
Thank you very much, man. A pleasure. I really appreciate you coming on. It's been an honour.
All right,
Top
thanks.
man. Thank you.